So your doctor said what about it?
Yeah, so it's not a growth. It's more like I need to scrub harder in the shower.
And that won't ruin like sex at all?
Well, there's no sex to be ruined. Oh, what's up?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another great episode of the Snack Bite segment. I'm your host, Ryan Hernia.
And I'm your co-host, Brady Cardia.
And we got a super fun, extra special, amazing episode of the Snack Bites segment today. Today we're talking about...
We're talking about spring anime. We understand that there's a lot of really great spring anime coming out. And sadly, me and Ryan, we're two busy guys. So we were able to take 3 of those spring animes and take a little session and watch all those spring animes really fast.
Yes, and so like Brady said, there's a butt ton of new spring anime on the rise.
A crap ton.
And we're really excited.
Yeah, too much to even count.
Right, but unfortunately, we're not like super cute little high school girls anymore. We don't have time to watch them all, like we used to. So we took a good chunk of them today. We gave them a spin, and I personally enjoyed them.
They were pretty good. Like, we had a lot of different options to choose from, and we were like, you know what, these are going to be bangers. And I think at least 2 of them is a great banger. And one of them, I think it's great. It might be lacking in some categories, but it's still a banger. A banger's a banger.
Right. So what I was going to say is that maybe next week we'll have a few more to show off. But as for now, we handpicked some ones that we think are pretty good. And we're going to give you our thoughts, our opinions, our first impressions, and see what's going on. Brady, go ahead and start us off. What's the first one we watched?
All right. So when me and Ryan sat down, we're like, okay, we heard good things about this one and this one. But let's start it off with this one. We started off with My Home Hero. And My Home Hero, man, it was good. It was really good. I liked it. I mean, it's definitely not my cup of tea. I think it's based off of a Korean novel or a manga. What are those called?
Manhwa. So it's basically just manga in Korea. And usually it reads more like a top-down scrolling.
Does it still have the pictures, though?
Oh, it's got the pictures.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I can't even order up a menu without pictures these days.
Yeah, but this one I thought it was pretty good. Definitely not my cup of tea. I'm usually a super lighthearted type of anime manga goer. I like my One Piece. I like my schoolgirls. I like my romantic
Clannad.
My clan. Well, the Clannad's very sad, but
I've never watched
this
it.
one.
I never finished.
This one involves a lot of action, some murder, the Yakuza. Murder. The Yakuza, and had a lot of really good story elements. And I am curious how it like kind of wraps up.
All right, here's that quick synopsis for you. So, an older, kind of different, not a whole lot of stories revolve around older characters these days, but this one revolves around 2 parents, and they gotta be like in their mid-40s to like 50s.
I'm gonna say no younger than 42, no older than 48.
Sure, that's a good age range because they have a daughter who has an apartment and a boyfriend who lives with her, so that's kind of like a good like segment of like where they're at in life. But what I'm trying to say is that like, so dad finds out that his daughter's boyfriend's beating her, and he's like, that's not cool. And so he finds the dude that's beating her, and then he just kind of kills him. It's a Wednesday for this guy.
It's kind of crazy. So you kind of slowly go into it. You follow this like just your average Joe,
super average
Joe guy. It was very nice to see like a protagonist who wasn't in high school.
Representation,
right? Us, your average Joe.
I'm actually an office worker who tucks in a shirt and has a pocket protector.
But anyway, so you follow this average Joe. He finds out that his daughter's boyfriend is beating her, so he's going to investigate, and then he slowly realizes, oh shit, he's part of the Yakuza.
Finds out the hard way.
Yeah, he found out the hard way. So he sneaks into his daughter's apartment, and then he overhears the boyfriend talking mean shit over the phone. So he decides, you know what, I'm gonna jump this motherfucker, and I don't know if it was on accident, on purpose, but he kills this guy.
Palm thrusts his dick first.
And it was very suspenseful because the boyfriend was on the phone, and then the dad accidentally calls like the boyfriend on the phone, and he's like, oh yeah, if you want my daughter, come get me. And he jumps out of the closet because he was hiding in the dad was hiding in the closet. Fucking palmed his balls and then grabbed a fucking rice cooker and just started beating this guy's. And like, it's deserved. Like, this guy was beating the shit out of his daughter. Like, if someone was beating the shit out of your daughter.
So right, so we gave you guys the brief synopsis of what the first episode is and what kind of overarching story is gonna look like. For me personally, it didn't quite hit the mark, mainly because the execution was a little bit lackluster. And you know what? It might just be me a little bit because we're pretty spoiled with a lot of fantastic animation these days. Dude, A1 Studios, Bones, Trigger, Mappa, like Toho. Toei.
Yeah, Toei's busting it, man.
Dude, Toei doesn't like Dragon Ball, but they love their One Piece.
Oh, they love their One Piece, man.
They're like, here you go, Goku. Here you go, Luffy. But that's how I see it a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, we're very blessed. I know you weren't the biggest fan of the animation, but for me, it didn't really draw me out. Like, I think it was totally fine.
Sure.
It wasn't bad. There's some animators like you were looking at pictures.
Right, like Way of the House Husband.
I was just about to say that. And that one kind of leans towards it since it's more of a comedy. But for this more serious one, I don't think it could have been better, obviously. I think anything could be better, but it didn't drag me out of the experience, but it definitely could have been like, okay.
Well, we actually watched one before My Hometown Buffet Hero, and that one looked gorgeous, and then we hopped over to something that looked less, Yeah. And so I guess I shouldn't harp too much on that. There are other aspects that drew me out of the story a little bit. So I think for me was the average Joe dad who was hiding in the closet, who eventually killed the boyfriend. I'm sure he thought about it before he did it, but also like it didn't. I didn't feel the intensity build up too much.
Yeah, I mean, the most intensity you got is the dad is hiding in a closet, and then the boyfriend's like slowly walking to the closet and about to like reveal like the dad's in there. But then he gets distracted with a phone call with the dad's actually planning. So that's the most suspenseful stuff. I think they should build up the boyfriend being a little bit badder, Like, yes, he was beating his girlfriend, was pretty bad, but it was very fast. Like, you meet the daughter, oh, she's getting beat, then the dad's following the boyfriend,
fast.
And it's just like, maybe we need to be drawn a little bit more. Maybe even like the dad has to figure out that his daughter's getting beat slowly over the first couple episodes.
Right.
I would kind of like that, like if the dad had to do some investigation of like, oh my gosh, my daughter's getting beat.
Like let the build up simmer a little bit longer, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And it was kind of weird because so this all happens in the daughter's apartment. There's a dead guy, that's her boyfriend, the dad's standing over. Then the mom came to drop off some groceries.
That was my next point.
And she walks in, she's like, well, this is a thing. The dad's like, yeah, but we can't just go to court.
It was like, honey, I may have killed our daughter's boyfriend. I know it sounds silly,
but it wasn't like because they were talking like, why don't we just bring this to court? I'm sure he's probably killed a couple people. We could probably do self-defense. And then the dad remembers, oh, the Yakuza, no one gets away from the Yakuza, so we can't. And the mom's just like, no tears, no panic, no nothing. It's like, well, if they could hide bodies, we could hide bodies as well. So it was just super weird. Like, the mom was just like, she was gung-ho for it.
You know what? If later reveals that mom was actually part of a gang growing up, that would make sense.
That would make sense.
And it would be kind of cool twist, too. Like, hey, babe, like, look, you never knew this about me, but, like, this is, like, my 16th or 18th body.
Yeah.
Like,
she was a little too calm. I mean,
right.
I don't think it was bad.
So the cons, for me personally, pros of this one of Hometown Buffet Hero is going to be the premise, the story, and how it sets around like an older couple, because like I'm old. Like Brady's a few years younger than me.
It's just not like the main character's not even old. It's like a whole family.
Right. And then the whole family's kind of old. And then my cons would be that obviously the animation took me out of it a little bit, and then two, the disbelief behind them not building up some of the big reveals and characters.
So true.
Enough. So I'm gonna plug it into the snack bar. I'm gonna give this one a 6.8 snacks out of 10. Maybe not for me. I'm gonna maybe watch next episode or two and see if I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll drop it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, for me personally, unlike Ryan, I don't think the animation really drew me out. For me, I'm a bare bones guy. Like if the animation is at least knowledgeable, like, oh, that's actually a moving picture, it'll be fine for me. So pros, like Ryan said, I think I could agree on having a not typical protagonist is also really fun. I think dealing with
he looked like a beta male. He looked like,
Exactly.
I'm sorry for cutting you, sir. Please don't hurt me. Or can I borrow some toilet paper? I'm out over here.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool, and I would like to see how this kind of how he forms as a person. Kind of reminds me of what's his face from Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, I was gonna say Jerry from Rick and Morty.
He is definitely Jerry from Rick and Morty. But who's the main character in Tokyo Revenger?
Takamichi.
Takamichi was kind of a bitch, like the biggest bitch, and then he kind of got really cool, like the furthest the story goes on. So like
his first name though.
Yeah, maybe Takamichi was. Maybe he's gonna be like a Takamichi type of guy, but I don't know. I thought there was a lot more to it. It felt like it needed more substance, and it just needed a lot more substance. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug into the snack meter. Honestly, it wasn't for me. I'm gonna say a 5 snacks out of 10.
Okay. All right, and I thought Brady liked it more than I did.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Moving on,
Wait, I want to announce the next one.
Okay, go for it.
We skipped Hell's Paradise.
Well, we were gonna go.
We watched Hell's Paradise.
We did. I was personally going from least to greatest, but
Oh, I thought we agreed to go like in order from like
when we watched
what
it,
we watched.
hey, a little miscommunication on the snack run duo, but we'll get it right next time.
Yeah, we actually got to yep.
We gotta get our shit together
Yeah, we gotta get it all together in a bag and take it out to the dumpster.
because it's smelling here like bad. It reeks.
I'm gonna cut this whole part out. So next on the docket, we watched Hell's Paradise, and this is the latest from Mappa Studios.
Woo, Mappa!
Yeah,
Mappa
woo!
Dappa!
Yeah,
Mappy, my mama.
I want to Mappa Dappa it up, baby. But yeah, this is a story that we knew nothing about. Even the trailers didn't tell us anything.
Not
the trailers was
not
like,
a goddamn thing. It was like it was a music video, and then it was like, do these things relate? Like it felt like it showed ninjas, then it showed demons, then it showed like the underworld, then it showed like some magic.
and
I
then
was like
samurai,
and then like some sex. I was like, do these things even relate?
Right. It was a string of images strewn together with like some epic music, and it felt like, wow, it looks amazing, but what is it? You know what I mean?
And here's the cool thing: the trailers really drawn our interest, but the first episode grabbed our interest and said, "Come here,
Yeah. It was
your interest is mine."
Give me your balls. But okay, so what'd you think of the first episode, brother?
First episode, I thought was really great. It was very interesting. You kind of follow this shinobi type ninja character getting tortured and try to get executed. But shocker, he can't get executed. He keeps on saying like, I have no will to live, but I just can't die.
He just can't die. Swords don't pierce his skin. Fire doesn't burn him.
I think it starts off with just saying like, they were executing his head. They were cutting off his head with the samurai sword. And they're like, this is the most noble way to die. And you just see the guy like chop, 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 chop. Then you see his sword like break
off.
Then it kind of shows like, is this guy invincible?
And he kind of keeps saying, I can't die. Like, I don't know why my body doesn't let me die. Like, I cannot die, whatever. And then later it's revealed in the story that he has learned ninjutsu, and he's from a ninja village, and they have learned to harden their bodies for defense, and they have like certain ninja powers that they learn. And I don't want to give too much away.
No.
But Brady, tell me a little bit about the main character in the animation.
So he's really cool. I liked him a lot because you really don't understand this character until further on into the episode. Because in our eyes, and even in that character's eyes, like he's saying, I want to die, but it just my body won't let me. It kind of shows that his body is instinctively letting him not die, because like in his heart and his soul he doesn't want to die, but him himself, he doesn't know that quite yet until the very end of the episode, when there's this journalist character and then it finds out she's something more than that journalist character. Probably don't want to give that part away too much,
right?
But,
so yeah, the reveal at the end is actually pretty worth watching the first episode, in my opinion. The slow simmer that I would say my hometown buffet hero didn't have, the slow simmer that Hell's Paradise had for this one character, I already forgot his name, like Ninja Boy. The reveal feels great. It makes sense, and it's cool that this character, as cool as he is, he's flawed. Like, he's telling himself one thing and his body's saying another.
It's crazy because even when we were kind of listening to him telling like this one side of his story, it kind of showed like his wife from the past was kind of a bother. And then when the truth actually came out, it kind of manipulated the past, showing like, oh my, he actually did like his wife. He actually did. So like he was believing kind of like a Possum syndrome, or he was just thinking he was someone he wasn't. Like even his past he thought was something. Then when he realized like, oh, it's actually this, you kind of see the flashback like change in form. Like, oh my, this girl actually did love me, and I actually was listening to her. I actually did want to change and stuff like that.
So, there is a part in the new Vinland Saga season 2 anime where our main character that we followed for like 25 episodes in the previous season, we're following him into the new season of his life, into like a new chapter of his life, where he doesn't care if he dies. Like, if you punch me in the face, if you stab me, whatever, just kill me. And so there becomes a conflict of him and some slaves, and they start slashing him up, and he's not even flinching. And then, like the boss of the slaves like walks up to him, and this guy's the real deal. And he says, or he doesn't say anything. He just grabs a sword, but he has like actual intent to kill the main character Thorfinn in his eyes, and he jumps out of the way, and he says, "Gotcha. I knew you didn't actually want to die," because like everyone else slashing him and just beat him up. Like, they didn't have any actual intentions of killing him, but as soon as there actually was intent to kill, his body jumped hard.
It's kind of like exactly like what happened in this.
Exactly.
Because like he felt like whenever he was trying to get executed, or whenever they were trying to execute him, he didn't really feel like he had a danger. And you kind of got a sense of that because there's this one part where they tied 2 bulls to his legs and they were trying to rip him apart. But you see him personally,
you see just for a second,
flex.
He's kind of like, no, he pulls his leg back in.
Yeah, he pulls his leg back in, like flex his muscle a little bit to kind of retract. And like, if he didn't care he died, he wouldn't have purposely done that. And then when he goes against this final character who was the journalist, he actually noticed like, oh shit, she might be the real deal. I actually might be in danger. And then this is the first time you see blood coming down from him. Like, he was trying to get cut in half. He was getting ripped in half. He was getting burned alive. You never saw any damage on this guy. But when like he actually saw danger, you saw that little blood dripping down his cheek. I was like, damn, that's...
So, yeah.
I really thought he was immortal.
Right. He paints a picture like he is. So this one, like I said, is by Mappa Studios, and Mappa, if they're anything, they're thorough and they do not cut corners. The animation was gorgeous.
Amazing. Absolutely mind-boggling.
It looked really good from the flames, from the character movement, from all of it, the lighting and everything. So no complaints here at all. We got what we came for.
It's Mappa. You're never gonna dog on Mappa,
right?
You know, knock on wood. Don't want to say that because Mappa could be trash in a couple of years. But
I mean,
I don't think that's happening. Like between JJK, between Attack on Titan, between other fucking
so many
golden ass titles, like you're not gonna like their animation
Vinland's
is flawless. Like when Mappa is connected to the name of your anime, you know you're in for a treat. You're in for a dessert, baby.
They don't let up, and they keep going. So what I'm trying to say is that like the story was extremely intriguing for me. The payoff and the reveal at the end when all the pieces come together from what you watched, it feels really great. One more thing I want to add to this one.
Yeah.
The characters and where the story is going, it looks exciting, and I'm 100% going to give the next episode a go.
Yeah, I'm 100% going to give the next episode. I think the kind of cliffhanger at the end where she's like, I need you to go on this adventure with me, but we can't just go straight there. We got to do this, and this. And he's like, oh my God, I want to see this, and this. What is this, and this? I want to see that. And then their final destination to get this basically golden grail thing is, so it's like, oh, okay, I want to see that. You got my attention, and I'm here for it.
So for me, animation was like amazing. Story was very intriguing, and where the story is going, it looks great. There are more colorful characters and lesbians, so that's like 4 for 4 right there. Plugging this one into my snack bar, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 8.6 snacks out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It feels right at home with like with like amazing shonen anime, and the main character, I like him because he's powerful and very flawed. Like inwardly, he's flawed, and there's a whole world to explore. And I'm very excited. I know we talked a lot.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think
I feel like also we kind of almost like just spoiled the whole episode.
Yeah, and that's all right.
But definitely just go watch.
There's definitely a lot more to it because we actually don't even know what happens like moving forward, and even like we did leave a lot of stuff out. So I think you guys are really gonna like it. It's been a while since I really enjoyed a good anime from the Edo Samurai period. Like I think of some classics like Way of the Samurai, Samurai Shampoo, and even Inuyasha. Like I miss those old classic Edo period samurai anime. So I'm really excited for it. Plus it has some demon, mystical, magic elements to it.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of mystery to be had. There's a lot of mystery to go over. There was this little part where there was a boat with flowers and then there's human parts on the flowers. It's like, what is that?
Right.
Like,
So there is mystery.
There's so much mystery.
There's a lot to know.
So I mean, if there's any cons, it's just like maybe more movement in the story, but besides that, I think there's plenty of movement. I don't really have a lot of cons for it. You know, it's pretty good. I think the main character is really cool. Another cool white-haired character who is kind of overpowered.
Think Killua, but his ability is flame. I think that's really it, and he's married.
Yeah,
I think that's really it. Like he's older. But like, think of like just Killua with fire powers, and he's married and older.
So I'm plugging this into my personal snack meter, and I'm gonna give it a 9 snack out of 10. I really think it's up there, and I was a fan of the old classic Edo period samurai anime, so I think this one's really gonna draw my interest.
You kind of like become big fans of like a lot of things sometimes, like Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles. Like you get into certain things.
That was a period.
Robots.
I think I get super. I think it's my ADHD or maybe even low my OCD is like I get so hyper focused.
It's my ESPN and it's my HGTV. I'm sorry.
It's my CNN. It's my CW. It's my.
Sorry, my Disney Channel's acting up. 1 second.
Sorry. Do you have Disney Plus? I need my Disney Plus channel.
Give me my Hulu EpiPen.
But yeah, I get super hyper focused on certain things. So Edo period Japan, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, he's coming.
And you know what else is coming? A hot new anime coming up. Just released, literally April 1st. It released on April 1st. And gee whiz, Ryan, you want to tell them how easy it was to get this anime for us?
It may have came out April 1st, but this anime was no joke, especially to find. Oh my goodness gracious, good golly gosh. Fuck my backside and call me a biscuit ass bitch. Please, Pastor Jonathan, no more. I won't tell anyone, I promise. What?
Basically, what Ryan's trying to say, Ryan's trying to say is we couldn't find it anywhere. It was supposed to be it was supposed to be
every
on Hulu.
website said it's Hulu.
It was supposed to be on Hulu. We even checked Verb,
Crunchyroll too.
Disney Plus, even because it is created by Disney Plus.
I
they're funding it.
Yeah, I loaded up Napster. I couldn't find it.
Literally everything. It was no joke. So we might to. Arg.
we had to find me booty.
If you guys know what we mean, you know what we mean. We don't do it a lot, but
I literally leave $100 in my account every month just for streaming services and other things like that.
This was a one-time thing.
I support local, or I support official,
and local if you're in Japan.
Right. So, what we're trying to say is that we couldn't find this fucking anime that they released yesterday that's supposed to be on Crunchyroll, Hulu, and apparently Disney Plus. But that anime is going to be heavenly diluted.
Delusion. You were close. Ryan couldn't remember this name the whole day. He kept on calling something different. We just finished watching Heavenly Delusion. And delusional was right. Oh, gee, Willikers, I have so many questions. I was delusional after this episode.
We saved the best for last. This is the one where if I can only continue one of these animes, it would definitely be heavily diluted.
Delusion. Yes, you got it, baby. I kind of like. There's so much to talk about. If you don't mind, I want to kind of break.
Yeah, dude, you take the reins.
I want to break.
Wait.
I want to break it down in sections. Can we talk about the animation first, then the story, and then kind of final thoughts? More formalic.
formulaic.
You got it, baby.
What was the formula one time? I
Formulaic.
was looking at something else.
No, you're good. I kind of just want to break it down because this is a really good anime, and we really want to like give you our best for you
Okay,
guys.
well-
So we're gonna break it down in animation first. We're gonna give our thoughts and our first impression on the animation. Then we're gonna break it down in story, at least what we know of the story, and then finally we're gonna do final conclusions about our overall thoughts of this first anime and what we think about it.
Sure. So animation, story, and then our final thoughts.
You got it, buddy.
Cool. Go ahead and kick us off.
Okay, kick us off. Holy shit. Look, was it fucking 1,000 frames per second? This shit was buttery smooth. Like, I haven't seen animation this smooth forever. And I know good smooth animation. I've seen a lot. And, like, holy shit. Like,
Agreed.
yeah, it
Agreed.
was so smooth. The color palette was immaculate. Just the different scenes it was setting with the color palette and the animation and just how it changes, how it adapts to, like, just the story and where it's at the moment. The main thing what blew me away was just the smoothness of the animation. Like, I looked around and was like, am I glitching out right now? Like, why?
Right, yeah,
Nothing, even real
Like
life.
60 frames per second.
Yeah, real life isn't even this smooth. And like low key, real life is only like 32, 60 frames per second. That's a big gap. But real life is only like 60 frames per second.
Wait, hold on. The server's loading.
Yeah. No, to the human eye, real life is technically, logistically only 60 frames per second because that's where eyes could only register. But this G Willikers, it had to be like 90 frames per second.
It looked great. What Brady's trying to say. And the color palette, like you said, am I talking now about?
Yeah, go for it.
No, I agree. So some of it must have been rotoscoped for sure, and that's kind of when they just have like humans do the animations or like the movement, and they kind of animate over them. But when something's rotoscoped, you can kind of tell when it is. And this one, you couldn't tell it was rotoscoped if it was. They either did a really great job or they didn't rotoscope at all, which is even more impressive. What I also kind of felt was beautiful. And this isn't like me being a pervert, but like the scene of the girl who took her clothes off, her taking off her pants and then reaching over and touching her shoulders and leaning forward and moving back a little bit, like that all looked and felt so natural. Like, I'm literally getting chills thinking about the animation, like like the animation and the lighting for that scene. It was so simple, but yet like it hit on all the points of like a realism, it felt like. And even though the character model was a little bit on like the cartoonish side still, like it looked really great.
Yeah, man, you're a pervert. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
If that's what you got from that, then you weren't listening.
Exactly what Ryan said. Like, just the models seemed so vibrant and the models were so on point. And like a big thing with animation where like animation's hard. I will say, like, I've took a couple of animation class. It's fucking hard. I will say that. But a easy cheat for animators to do is if it's a scene where characters aren't moving a lot, they'll only animate the mouth moving. That's super easy just to take those shortcuts. This one, every single detail in a scene was animated. Even if they were just standing there talking, they were like swaying back and forth. Their hair was in the wind. There was like stuff going on in the background. Every single element of a scene was animated to a T. It was just super nice. The biggest thing I noticed, it wasn't even that big of a thing. One of the main girls, she does like a little swirl and her hair like super realistically like wraps around like her body, and it was just so on par, so on point, and I loved it.
I don't want to keep shitting on My Hometown Buffet Hero, but when the other gangsters show up to like fight the dad and like halfway through the episode, their walking animation was literally just the foreground, the background, and then like them doing this.
It was bad. Even the open.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything because I was like, oh, Brady's really enjoying this. I don't want to break the immersion, but they were just kind of like one single drawn like figure or like character, and they just kind of like went up and down as if they're moving forward.
Yeah, it wasn't the first anime we talked about wasn't the best. Even the opening, and the opening is showing a lot of love. But going back to My Home Hero, the opening, he was supposed to be like walking in puddles, but it's like the puddles were just drawn there, and he was just walking over the puddles. I was like,
I did
that's an opening.
I did, yeah. That's where your budget's supposed to go.
Can I just say one more thing about the quality in the animation about Heavenly Delusion?
Absolutely. I want to say one more thing too.
The tone of like just the color palettes they use, there's mainly two different like, let's say, scenes where they're in this like kind of system bubble containment area,
like a futuristic safe area.
Yeah, a futuristic safe area where it's very light, vibrant. You see the colors, you see how the characters move, you just see the light glossing it in. It's very light and bright. Then there's another part where you don't really know where this is at, but it's very dingy, kind of apocalypse type of vibes. It's very dark and gloomy, and you could really tell like these are two real environments that they're in.
And the color palette changes to show off that one is like hopeful and vibrant and people live here, and one is like more muted and
Gloomy, muted, like
yeah.
oh shit's going down. Like shit's not the best here.
Yeah, mute is the word for sure. So that's kind of what I was gonna add to that too. I'll kick us off with the story and the characters.
The story is mind-boggling.
So there's nothing really to spoil here because it literally just creates a lot of answers. It creates a lot of questions.
Yeah, we need answers. We
no
need answers.
It makes me almost want to read it, but I'm like, ooh.
Don't do it.
I'm like, ooh, but like
the animation's so good.
What am I gonna like? I want like out of every series we watched today, there was only 3 of them, but that one was what I wanted more of immediately.
Yeah.
So the story is a little bit like, it kind of cuts back and forth between like a happy, safe haven, I think like school, like a futuristic like little school for like kids, and they're hanging out. They're maybe like 12 or 11 or something, and then it jumps forward to like a apocalyptic Tokyo. And these kids are like scavenging houses and like walking the streets, and like they're fighting other people who are like
trying to rob them,
also scavengers, and also like while it sounds depressing and it kind of sounds like the Last of Us futuristic version, there's humor too. Like they kind of punk around some other gangsters, and then there's like a part where they meet up with like that innkeeper, and she's like, just want to kind of point out that like incest is just kind of unhealthy.
Basically we kind of skipped over this. You kind of follow for the main part this you assume that they're brother and sister, but they're not blood related brother and sister. We actually don't really know that relationship too well.
There's a lot of things we don't know anything
about.
We
don't, but you kind of follow this young guy and this young girl, and they call each other like sister and brother, but they say they're not blood related. So you kind of just follow them, and they're scavenging through these houses. They're mainly just looking for food. You definitely see a big plot point in this is starvation. One of the first houses you go into is like this family died. They were holding hands, and they starve to death. So that's the main thing, is they're looking for food, and even when they find food, like it turns out the sister can't even cook, so she wasted all that food they just found.
She mixed wild weeds with canned vegetables, and they were like, oh no, this food's wasted now. So this first episode it was sort of like a breakfast platter, and it was a little bit of everything, but never quite gave you the whole shebang of one item.
Think about, you know how episodes and movies have cliffhangers? Think about if this had a cliffhanger every five minutes.
It's like, I want to know more about the school. I want to know more about the Tokyo. I want to know more about the relationship.
Because it's weird. You kind of jump before like this secluded isolation place where it's very light and vibrant, and then it jumps forward. We don't even know forward. This could be in the future, or it could be parallel, because you don't follow the same characters in the same like
we
areas.
don't think we think that they're the same characters.
We were speculating like 2 of the characters we're following in the kind of isolated dome thing. They kind of look like the main characters we're following on the outside when they're scavenging, but there's different names.
The boy in the Flash, and the boy in like the school vibrant area was named Tokyo, but in the really sad version of Apocalyptic Japan, his name was Miru.
It was like Milumu or something. Yeah, something like that.
And so I was like, so are these? I really thought this was like Tokyo grown up, but it might have been Miru. I thought it was Miru.
Yeah.
What we're trying to say is like it's hard to touch too much on the story really, because we don't know a ton about it. We know it intrigues us. We know that we want to know more.
The main thing is it kind of alludes at like some type of monster type creatures, and maybe that's why they're scavenging. Maybe the safe people are in the dome, and the people outside the dome are maybe lower income, or maybe they just don't have the proper tools and resources to survive. So it kind of seems like there's this like monster creature kind of hunting them down. Because it kind of shows at the very end, it shows like the innkeeper, she has a gun, and she's like, it's for the monsters. And that's all we know.
Right. And then also there's a plot point where the 2 kids in the rundown apocalyptic Tokyo or Japan area, they're looking for heaven. They mentioned that like twice. what does that mean? That can mean a lot of different things.
And it's weird because even to the people in the story, they don't know what heaven is. Because the first like gang of boys, they said, "Take me to your heaven" or whatever, and it's like their little dingy hideouts. And then they asked the innkeeper, "Is like, have you heard of something called heaven?" She's like, "Oh, some people describe this inn as heaven." So like heaven to them is very different to like our knowledge of heaven. So it could be. There's just so many questions.
Right, but what we can say, or at least I can say, is that I really, really liked it, and this is the one I look forward to the most from the trailer. Brady didn't like some of the character models immediately, but it was like some of like the side characters. So like while we praised the animation, while we praised the way the bodies moved, that didn't mean that they didn't look a little cartoony still, and I'm okay with that. You know, like I've never quite seen this style of animation where like the bodies were anatomically the anatomy of the body was like pretty spot on, but then the face was still kind of anime-ish. For me, the story was extremely intriguing. We can't even talk about it too much because there's too many different points of interest.
Too much things we don't know.
So if I had to go ahead and plug this one into the snack bar, I'm going to give it like a 9.3 snacks out of 10. I'm very intrigued, and you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be watching the next episode when it comes out next Sunday or Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those days. Kind of the same realm of Ryan. Like everything was flawless about it. I wish we could tell you more, but we literally don't have any information. There's so many like plot points what we just don't know yet. But like between the tone, the animation, the character models, how it looked, how it felt, how the characters like felt in these realistic environments, it was mind blowing and boggling. So like I'd say if I put my snack meter, it's probably gonna be a 9.3 as well, maybe even a 9.5 out of 10 snacks. It was like this is something. It's going to need to be watched. And I think this is going to be something what's going to be like changing. It's going to be changing the game. It's like one of those animes you come out, it's like, this is winning something. Like this is going to win one of the awards. This is going to do something new.
A1 Pictures. They were behind this one.
Yeah.
A1 Pictures does great work. One more thing I want to add on that I kind of realized as you were talking, Brady. I think one of the reasons why we both like this so much is because like, we both like action, right?
We do like action.
I might like sci-fi a little bit more than you, and you might like slice of life a little bit more than me.
And it kind of balances it.
And it definitely has both.
It balances it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so right. Because it's very sci-fi, where it's like apocalyptic, futuristic kind of environment. But the two characters you follow are very like, they're very relaxed. They don't
bathhouse.
They're very
sleepovers.
Yeah. So I think this is gonna be something a little bit for everybody. And definitely, if you like mystery, if you like plots and stuff, you're gonna like this one.
Also, if you like The Last of Us, it had a little bit of a Last of Us kind of feel to it. It's like, are we running from zombies, monsters? We're going house to house, trying to figure this shit out together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can't praise this one enough. I'm very excited. I had to hold myself back from reading it. And if Brady's down, and if maybe this one gets like 50 plus views, maybe we can do like a spring anime first impressions part 2. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. I was just looking it up. There's a lot of cool stuff. What's really catching my eye, the biggest one for me is, what's it called? Unlucky Man or something like that? Oh, Undead Unluck, right? Undead Unluck?
No, it was Unlucky Man.
No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Undead Unluck. That one's definitely catching my interest. I heard the manga did all right, but the trailer looks phenomenal. So
right.
I think I'm really excited for that and some new ones. So like Ryan said, like if this gets over 50 views and a couple comments, a couple likes, we're definitely going to do another one.
Mashle looks good.
Mashle looks great. It's very funny because like Ryan said, I really like slice of life, kind of really easygoing anime.
That one looks like Harry Potter meets Gintama meets Saitama.
I wonder if there's real plot under it. Like if there's going to be like a big plot under it.
Well, 150 chapters, you have to have some plot.
True. That's so true. Yeah. It can't just be a gag.
I heard a dirty ass rumor that they're going to try to fit all 150 chapters into a 24 episode run.
No, that's fucking. If you do the math, most episodes are about 2 to 3 chapters.
Yep.
Mainly only 2. So they would have to fit what? Like
10
to 12?
Like 7. Like 7.
7 to 10 chapters in each episode, kind of.
Just skip whole arcs, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I guess if it's anyway, no matter what, we get off topic all the time.
So if next one would if we did in part 2, it might be Mashle, Undead Unluck, what was I say? JJK comes out soon.
We could do JJK.
Oh, you know what? Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer comes out next week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, no matter what we do, we're definitely going to be reviewing and covering a lot of stuff. So the easiest way to kind of catch our content is doing what, Ryan?
Watching our shorts and following us on TikTok.
Following us on TikTok, YouTube Shorts. The YouTube channel is probably the place to be. And definitely if you hit that bell, it's going to notify you every time we upload a video. So if you guys want to keep on joining the Snack Duo for all this fun, you know exactly what to do.
Yeah. Join the snack pack today. Add meaning to your life and save your marriage.
And you know what you can't save? Ryan mispronouncing Heavenly Delusion.
Yeah. Heavenly Repulsion. Repulsion. No, I'm joking now, but literally all today, since you've been here for like 10 hours ago, I literally couldn't remember. I was like, Heaven's Revenge, Heavenly Pollution. I don't know. I can't remember if I can remember the name of it.
I mean, it's delusional, man. So
maybe the name tells the story. Maybe like heaven is the place we create on earth together, but they've been chasing that this whole time when really it was like the journey, the friends, and the heart for each other along the way.
I think you're delusional.
I think yep, perhaps. Well, that about wraps up this one, I think.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.